Welcome back, everyone, to another episode on Beer, Bourbon, and Games. I am your host, Chris, and today we're going to talk about Anthem. Now, this seems to be the flavor of the week on YouTube. This is the game that every YouTuber is making every single video they can about it, about how absolutely terrible the game is. First, it was Fallout 76. That was the worst game ever made. Now, I haven't played Fallout 76, and I've heard some really terrible things, but it seems people have jumped ship from bashing on that game, and now we've moved on to Anthem. So today we're going to take a look at my impressions of the game and see what I think so far. I will talk about the good and the bad of Anthem. Let's just go over the general synopsis of the game. The very beginning, you are thrust into the Heart of Rage. An evil baddie is trying to use a device called the Cenotaph. He is trying to use that to control the Anthem of Creation, and with that, rule the world, do standard bad things. That guy does not succeed. The Monitor, who is his right-hand man, was there at the same time, and the entire city ends up getting leveled. Because of that, the freelancers, which are the name of the good people that go out and try to protect the people of Fort Tarsus and do the missions, their reputation is damaged, the city is destroyed, your friend Halleck is wounded, and a lot of other people die. So overall, it's a pretty strong start to the game. It sets the tone pretty well, and then the story kind of falls off a little bit. The Monitor comes back, and he is going to try to get the Cenotaph again. He wants to control it this time and try to get the Anthem of Creation, and you're trying to stop him. The story overall is probably only about 6 or 8 hours long if you just play that the whole way through. I instead did a lot of side missions. I have over 50 hours in the game. I was doing side missions, talking to the people. It was a lot of fun. So overall, the story by itself is a little weak, especially compared to the other stuff that BioWare has made, but there are little sprinkles of BioWare magic in there, and since it is a living, breathing game, I'm hoping that more gets added to it, or maybe we get Anthem 2 and they just outdo themselves and make a great story. But I would say the story was a little weak overall, but still very well presented. The acting was good. It was just a little too short. I was hoping for more. It kind of abruptly ends, but it wasn't bad. It was not as bad as what people complained about online. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is the Javelins. That's the names of the suits that you get to control. Now, right off the bat, you get one of them, and you get to pick between 4 total. There is the Ranger, the Colossus, the Storm, and the Interceptor. I decided to go with the Storm right off the bat. That one is kind of a mage type class. It has pretty good armor overall, and it is well versed with weapons, but you get to use frost, lightning, fire, and those become your main attacks. Right now, I'm using an arc burst, which will jump between people, and a lightning strike along with my guns while hovering in the air, stuff like that. Pretty cool. Really love it. I was originally using fire, but the lightning is really awesome. There's the Colossus, which kind of looks like the Hulkbuster from Iron Man, I will be honest. He's almost a tank type character. A lot of armor, heavy weapons, a lot of damage, really cool. Can't fly as long, the thrusters are not as good, but really cool overall. I like using him as well. Now, on the complete opposite scale is the Interceptor. Very light armored, but very quick. Up in your face with melee attacks, meant to be right up there in the battle, just destroying things with like swords, cutting things down, quick, nimble. That was the second Javelin that I unlocked, and that one was a lot of fun, let me be honest. And it's a completely different play style to go from the one to the other. It's really awesome. Now, the fourth style I haven't played as yet. It's the Ranger. And that one says it's the most balanced. It has good damage and good armor, but I haven't used it, so I'm not 100% sure how it compares. I think it's going to be kind of more of the vanilla javelin that you use. Nothing super fancy. I don't know what its abilities are like overall, but we'll see. I'm sure it's just as fun as the other ones. But overall, 4 pretty unique styles that you can play with, and they all vary up the game pretty well. I like the ability to change up the look and the color and the paint scheme. There's no charge for changing paint. I know some games do that, where if you paint things, they cost you money to do stuff. Nothing like that. You can buy vinyls and different outfits and stuff. There's one a week, but nothing that you're absolutely have to. So, absolutely cool. I like that aspect. So overall, I would say that's a really strong point. I like the weapons, I like the javelins, they are all very cool. The next thing we're going to talk about is the amount of content in the game. I was extremely impressed that I've been able to play the game so long, and I'm still finding things to do. I still have not completed all of the side contracts for characters. I have not even touched the Legionnaire challenge. The strongholds, I've only beaten them each once, so I have more loot to get. I am going to definitely try to up my gear score. Right now I'm considered, I believe, I think it's like normal. I think I'm the second level or second tier of my javelin. I'm trying to move towards the epic class, and then I think the last one is master class, which I am nowhere near. So there's a lot of loot and a lot of gear to try to get. There's also free play, which just lets you fly around Bastion and find collectibles out in the world. You shoot things, level up. Really cool overall. I spent hours the other day just flying around and doing nothing really, but it was a lot of fun. I was killing random soldiers on the ground. I was doing daily challenges. There is a lot to do in this game and a lot of cool characters to interact with. I really like the characters that are in Fort Tarsus. If you take the time in between every single mission, which I do, you can go around and there's certain characters that will have word bubbles, and then you can go ahead and talk to them. And then there's like a good and a bad choice to kind of go through, and what you say will impact your reputation with the class that they are associated with, if they're the Sentinels, the Arcanists, or just freelancers in general. And what you do can sway the outcome of what they think of you. Very cool system. You can tell it's BioWare to the core. It's not as in-depth as what Mass Effect was, but I think overall, really cool that they implemented it, and you could tell that it was a touch of BioWare in there, and EA kind of let them do their own thing. When people complain that there is not enough end-game content or loot or anything like that, I really don't get it. I saw people that were beating the game within 2 days of it being out and complaining there wasn't anything to do. I'm sorry, but if you're doing that, you're just not enjoying the game. There's no need for you to just plow through the game within a day or two of it being out and then complaining online that there's nothing to do. That's your own fault. We are a generation of just whiners and complainers, and the internet has been just a burden for game developers. They are never going to be able to appease everyone, that is for sure. I see non-stop hate comments on this game online, and I'm just worried about this becoming a trend. Games as a service are not going away, and unfortunately people are just whining and complaining more and more. If you really hate the games that much, become a game developer. Go and see how hard it is and how hard these people work on these games and how much of their heart they pour into them. Are they perfect? No. I'm sure some of it has to do with business decisions, and they're trying to make money. Games are expensive. They're trying to make some money back. So just cut people some slack and just enjoy the games. We're gamers. We're supposed to enjoy this. If you don't enjoy playing games, you're in the wrong field. You shouldn't be playing them if all you want to do is honestly bitch and complain. Now that we've been mostly positive about the game, let me kind of go towards the stuff that is a little negative overall. but nowhere near as bad as what people like to complain about. Now, the first thing is the loading screens. Everyone and their mom is complaining about how many loading screens there are. Are they a little long? Some of them are, yes. Have they already gotten better with patches? Yes, they have. They have done improvements to cut down on the amount of loading screens between certain things and loading in between the missions. So I will say that the loading screens at launch were a little annoying in some cases, but they have already gotten better. So they are listening to the fans. There is one complaint, however, I do feel is frustrating to me. It's the only issue that I've had, it really is the return to mission area loading. So if you're with a squad and the people decide to jettison off way out in front of you and you get left behind, it will give you a message that says, please return to the mission area, and it will warp you to them if you don't catch up to them fast enough. In some cases, it will do that even when you can look and see the people. They are literally right in front of you, and it will still warp you and say you're not close enough, and I don't understand why. I think that system needs to be tweaked a little bit. I don't think it's 100% working the way that was intended. Now, it doesn't always do that, but sometimes it feels like it glitches, and it does do that. The other issues people are complaining about is it crashing the PS4, bricking the systems. I haven't had a single issue where it's frozen. It hasn't locked up on me. I haven't lost any progress. No one I know has had any PS4 brick issues. The Xbox One, I can't speak to how it's performing because I'm not playing it on that system. But overall, most of the issues seem to have been the PlayStation 4. So I'm assuming there's something with the memory architecture or something overall that the PlayStation was doing different than Xbox. But there's been a ton of patches. We're already on number 5. And the stability seems to be a lot better for people than what it was. So they are listening. The next complaint people have is that there are not loot boxes, but there are items that you can buy in the game. You can buy new armor, you can buy dance emotes. And I say to them, it's optional. It is not a player versus player. There is no bonus for me dancing like a robot if I want to buy that emote. There is no advantage to me for looking like I bought, suit A versus suit B. There's nothing. Some people like to buy them because they look cool. Some people like to buy things because they want to give back to the game creators. Maybe they think the game was well worth the $60 and they want to buy $5 worth of in-game currency to say, hey, BioWare, EA, thank you. I know I did that with Assassin's Creed, and I thought the game was fantastically made. Odyssey was great, so I bought a little bit of in-game stuff just to say, hey, thank you. I think it was worth more than what I bought. I'm going to throw you a little money. You can take that to the bank. Is it forced down your throat? Is there any game currency that you absolutely have to buy in this in order to progress? Is there a paywall that you need to go through? Is there some sort of in-game block telling you can't get past it unless you pay money? Absolutely not. So the complaint about there being a shop is annoying and frustrating, and people just like to complain. It's not there hurting anyone. It is completely 100% optional. So overall, I would like to say that my experience with the game has been very, very positive. Over 50 hours played. I am going to go immediately play some more as soon as I'm done with this. I want to beat more contracts. I am nowhere near done with this game yet. It's going to be in my system for quite some time. So I have more than gotten my money's worth. And I can 100% recommend this to you guys. If you like looter shooters, if you like flying around feeling like Iron Man, if you just want to mess around and shoot things with guns and have fun and like sci-fi stories, or you like Mass Effect or BioWare, I can 100% say the game is a blast. I don't understand why the gaming community is so hate-filled at this moment. I wish it would stop, but unfortunately, it feels like it's going to continue. So I will say to you guys, definitely at least rent the game, borrow it from a friend, whatever you need to do to just give this game a try. It's well worth the $60. I really hope that you go out there and give this game a chance. So guys, I hope you enjoyed my impressions video of Anthem. As you can see, I'm thoroughly enjoying the game, but let me know down below what you think of Anthem. I look forward to reading all of your comments. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell so you get notified every time there is a new video out. Remember guys, until next time, these games aren't going to play themselves. You're going to have to help them.